Where is your lighting?
Oh,
There you go. Are y'all excited about your new desk? Is it working well?
yeah, that's about my new desk.
Everyone needs a good desk.
Do you see my, oh, I forgot to show you my garbage can.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, check this out.
What, that yellow thing? What the That's- that looks like a very good upgrade. Uh-huh.
So I guess, yeah, have you done a slicing?
No, my
Okay.
main thing is I have to get the cards ready to be printed because there's a certain deadline for these teachers that are coming at the end of August. So I have to get that done. And it's like
Yeah.
I'm redoing 400 cards, and I found one little mistake in the background of all of them. So I had to go, and there's 8 on each card. So I basically had to make 3,000 adjustments.
Holy shit,
Oh, fuck.
sounds like programming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. So
Yeah.
I guess since we last talked though, you talked to Dylan. I'm curious about how that went. And also you said you talked to
Lucio.
yeah, I can never remember his name. Jesse. Yeah, and Luciel, and they have some
Olivia.
sort of update about that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we both made an error.
Okay.
In terms of our assessment of Dylan and what he's sort of like, the main problem was we didn't quite get what he was saying in terms of he's a little rusty in programming, because it's basically been 8 years since he was programming, and then everything he was doing was in WordPress. So what he found was that he had to relearn everything, and he couldn't even actually do anything. He just had to sort of try to figure out things, and he just wasn't figuring it out that well. So he was kind of stuck in terms of the basics of programming, when the things that he can do, right, is basically the graphic interface side of things. That to me is what he's good at. And because
by using WordPress only though, I guess.
well, or even just using Photoshop, like
yeah. Okay.
not even looking at that, but just the problem was we needed him to come in on the programming side, but he came in, on the front end, which we wanted both. We wanted front end with some coding, and because the coding side had sort of had left his skill set, or that the amount of time it was taking a lot of time to relearn the coding, when in fact, if he'd just been doing graphic interfaces for us, I think we would have what we wanted, at least not in programming side, but in the front end side. So because the server didn't get going, and then it took him a while to figure out, like it was only until sort of yesterday that he sort of admitted that, the slowness has been because of he's trying to relearn programming.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, yeah, that's okay.
So basically what I said, I mean, I took sort of responsibility, like he felt bad about it, and he has a tendency to kind of repeat the situation of what he's anyway. But it was, I saw it as more our fault in terms of not assessing him correctly. And I mean, we're trying to do the best we can with who came in, right? And then we're trying to get him to fit something which we need, which isn't necessarily not his problem, but I mean, it was more our inaccuracy in what he was good at.
Right.
It kind of threw us off in terms of assessing him as slow, when in fact it was more our assessment that was off. What are you doing with that light?
I don't know.
Are you blinded by the light?
Just noticing your picture looks so much better than mine, and I got this super fancy white light LED thing, and it still just doesn't really work properly for me.
Well, I've got like a 60-watt light here and a big light on the side.
Oh yeah, okay.
So your little thing.
Yeah,
But
I
look,
know,
like
it's
if
big.
I took the 60-watt off, that's how it looks with that. And then actually, can you change colors with yours? Because I can change colors.
That's pretty cool.
There's the red, the green.
Oh, actually, I've seen that one. Oh, I know which one you've got.
It's $40. It's not that bad.
Yeah, okay.
So there, but then I mean, the best thing is the 60-watt little thing. Sorry, I mean,
Okay.
I don't want to upstage you here.
Nah, it's too late. Too late for that. All right. So how'd you leave it with Dylan? Is he gonna keep trying to relearn programming or
No, I said that what we'll do is, take the stress. I also told him that we had sort of assessed his speed wasn't quite matching what we needed, and that we were going to go back to the original designs, and me and you were going to be doing it so we'd match what we needed with Luciel. So he felt, decent about that. I just took he was feeling stressed, right? Because he got a bunch of his own work that came in. So then, he's in this kind of shitty position that he's not able to match what he said he could do. Anyway, so what I said is, okay, well, let's back up. Let's look more long-term, because he said he was interested in the project, so he was very interested in the project and wanted to participate, which was the thing I was wondering about, that his motivation was down. And he actually wasn't putting the time in, when in fact it was something else, right? So I said, okay, what you're really good at is the graphic interface, and what you're really good at, I think, is thinking things through. We need another mind in there to sort of come up between you and me. And I said, okay, well, let's look at the finished product, the chat room, which is the last big thing I'd sent both of you, right, of the chat room. And I said, well, this is the main thing we got to do. And we talked a little bit about that, and he said, I would change things for this. And I said, okay, we'll take this, because that's the main thing we're aiming at. You come up with your graphic interface for it. And if you can come up with something better than mine, fine. And then we'll look long-term in terms of, seeing that you're more a graphic interface guy. That means we need to find another programmer type, and just keep him involved in the project, look more long-term around the real designs we want to make. And that's how I left it with him.
Okay, well, that's cool. It's nice that he's, or the upside of it, I guess, is he's still interested in the project and wants to keep volunteering. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So,
I mean, it's not going to be volunteer at some point, hopefully, but
no, but people that are willing to volunteer now is really what we're needing, right? Because everyone can see the potential, or well, not everyone, but everyone who's willing to see the potential is willing to volunteer now, because they can see, hey, if this thing gets off the ground, I've helped to build it, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
So yeah, that upside is that he still wants to help anyway.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, and I thought, I don't know, I was a little worried. I thought I might lose my temper if you weren't there. I don't trust myself sometimes. But it there was no reason to lose the temper. It was more because it wasn't as if he wasn't doing anything. I mean, it just seemed that way.
Yeah, well, that's good. All right.
So
all right, how about the other? Yeah.
Okay, Olivier, I had a one-on-one with him.
Olivier,
where
that's right.
we dived deeper in. It was our first one-on-one on the subject. We didn't meet today, which was a design day, because they were traveling. So that's a little off, because the main thing is coming up with the seven missions. So I think he got more, he likes the whole idea of it. Like, he's not saying no or poo-pooing to what it is. And he's asking the right questions around, what has to happen, in a sense. I think because we didn't meet this week, our deadline will probably be pushed another week, would be my guess, because we're getting down to like a week now, right? But we haven't even decided on the mission, so I don't think they can kind of get us on that. have you made any are you hoping that if I learn how to splice it, then you'll be able to do your end if I splice it? Is that what you're hoping?
I mean, honestly, I was really hoping that Dylan would take that on because he's got the program and he's got technical skills and he's obviously willing to learn stuff or relearn stuff. If he just starts slicing stuff for us, it's going to be huge. Like if nothing else, if that could be part of his role, I think things could move faster, much
Okay,
more.
so do you think because it seemed like he had never heard of it before.
No, I don't think so.
So it sounds like maybe I shouldn't have put him on. Well, I mean, if he comes up with the final interface and then splices it, like I'm almost done. I'm hoping tomorrow I'll be finished these lenses. So
Well, you know what? Maybe I can get a free trial on that program anyway. Because I'm not 100% sure what it's going to give us, but I think what it's going to be is a really helpful thing. But it might not be. So you know what?
actually, for some reason, I felt intimidated looking at the instructions. It didn't immediately.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe we should walk through it.
Yeah.
You want to?
We got time. We could give it a shot right now. I think there's a bit of a learning curve, but I don't think it's gonna be impossible. Let's try it. Yeah, if you got time right now.
Okay, let me switch Zooms to my other computer, and then I'll bring it up on the share, and then we'll go through it. Okay.
Sweet.
So